Hey, John again. Gonna play Immaculate Grid number 281. It is January the 8th. Gonna do time, gonna do rarity as I do. I think I did all right on time. I think I was sub-minute yesterday, but then on the rarity round, I was convinced that Arthur Rhodes had played for the Braves. I think I was just thinking that he played for the Reds, which he did, and it's a red team in the National League, which is kind of a stupid association to make. But I do stupid things in this game sometimes. Let's get into it. Let's play. I'm going to start sharing my screen, excuse me. And that's my failure from yesterday. See, really good rarity, really good rarity, really good rarity, fail. There it is. All right, let's do it. Hit and refresh, hit and play, and away we go. All right, third baseman, Scott Rowland. And let's go Pete Rose. Cool. And Ryan Zimmerman. Great. Edgar Renteria certainly works. He also would have worked here, but I'm going to go with Placido Polanco. Down here, let's go Sean Casey. Dimitri Young hits these two teams. Dante Bichette over here. And then let's just go Kyle Schwarber to close it out. All right, 47 seconds. That's a pretty good timed round. I haven't gotten that low in a while. It was an easier one with third base at three teams, and then the rest of it just being teams. What was that rarity wise? I guess Edgar Renteria is the highest here. Interesting. Scherzer's the highest there. Other than that, like Zimmerman, Chris Sabo with the rec specs coming in as the highest there. Maybe I'm cheating by looking at that. I haven't decided if that counts as cheating or not. Um, these being really high is interesting. But yeah, all right, cool. All right, let's see if I can get a good rarity score, because that's what I play for here. We'll stop sharing and then we'll share again. That's the one. This was a more successful timed round yesterday. And gonna hit refresh and away we go. All right. Um, where to start? Where to start? About this is a guy I came across. I think he was just one of the featured guys on um the Baseball Reference homepage, but Woody Fryman. Let's see how he does. I'm just kind of remembering him because he played for the Tigers and the Expos, and Travis Fryman played for the Tigers, so that's just a little association there. So he goes sub 1%. Okay, so he's a little bit more famous than I was anticipating. Over here, this is an Otis Nixon combination. I love using Otis Nixon when I can. He goes 0.5. We got a couple Al Simmons here. I may very well take advantage of that. Up here, Jeff Suppan works. John Lackey works. Can I go lower? Suppan's going to be pretty low though. 1%. Okay. I could have gone lower. I mentioned Al Simmons works for both of these. Let's go over here. So third baseman, the Cardinals. Fernando Tatis Jr. or senior, rather, senior will work. That'd be a pretty good one. Joe Torre works. Be a fun one to see if like Rogers Hornsby maybe played a game at third base or something. But again, I'm not any good at knowing these obscure things unless I physically watch them happen. So I don't think I'm gonna go with that much of a risk. I'm trying to think. I mean, Larry Parrish would work here. Tim Wallach works. I'm even trying to think about who like who these people were at the time I was first watching baseball. Tatis, I think, was acquired for like in a trade involving Royce Clayton. I think that was during the '98 season. So I'm trying to think who might have started the year. I think Gaetti actually started the year at third base for the Cardinals. He would work. Todd Zeile would work for both of these teams. That's probably a better one for him, though. That's probably a little bit sneakier. Castilla, I want to say, was briefly with the Washington Nationals. Ronnie Belliard played a little second and third base. I know he was with the Nats, but I don't know if he played third base with the Nats. He was more of a second baseman. See, Rendon's gonna do really well there. Of course, I mean, Ryan Zimmerman's Mr. National. He was drafted in their first year and, um, played, through the world, I think through the COVID season, played in the World Series season. So he, I think, handed off to Rendon, if I'm not mistaken. But I'm not going to go with either of those people. I'm trying to think of who the third baseman might be. Maybe Sean Barry. I think he played a little third and a little first. Let's try him. Go sub one. Um, Aaron Boone would work. I mentioned Perez, who was a first baseman on the back-to-back World Series champions, but was at third base before that. I don't know how famous that's gonna be. Um, and I'm struggling to come up with great third basemen from like the 1800s for the Reds. I'm sure there are many, but I don't know them off the top of my head. Um, but was Chris Steins? He was a third baseman, right? That guy. All right, that's a pretty good one. That's a very niche period of Reds. Like that's like '90s for like a couple years, I think. All right. So Cardinals, I haven't really connected the dots between like Joe Torre and Gary Gaetti. There's got to be people in between. Like who was on the '80s Cardinal team that beat the Brewers in the World Series? Pendleton. Pendleton, I don't think was on that team, but he was definitely on those teams in the '80s. He was, I think, on the '85 and '87 teams. So he would be an option. I mentioned Torrey already. Pujols would work. He certainly played more than a game there. Nolan Arenado, of course, works. Um, let's go Fernando Tatis. You know what? Now let's go Zeal. I think Zeal's going to be a little bit more rare than Tatis because Zeal does not have a son in the major leagues right now. 2%. That's not that great, but that's all right. All right. So trying to think about who we deploy here. I guess one thing I could do is I haven't gone with Kevin Mitchell in a while, so I can grab him there. Al Simmons over here. He's starting to creep up. Al Simmons would have been better over here, but then I would have had to come up with someone better over here. And then let's see. Cardinals and Tigers, both old teams, go all the way back. Um, no, that wouldn't work. I almost said Harvey Keene, but he never played for the Cardinals. That would have been way wrong. Um, played in a World Series against each other. Man, it's interesting that this one is giving me any trouble, but it is. It is. Our boy Germany Schaefer is not going to work. He didn't play for the Cardinals. That was not one of his teams. We've already played Renteria. How about former Brewer? I think the name that's coming to mind is Fernando Vina, who did play for both teams. I just don't know how rare that is. I want to say I've played him before and it was like 4%, or maybe that's just his number. His number was it 4? No. I think it was 1 now. Now that I'm thinking about it, I think it was 1 because he batted first and was number 1, which I thought was pretty cool. That was with the Brewers. I don't know what number he wore with either of these two teams here. Um, let's see. I'm not coming up with anyone a catcher. Um, oh, I'm sure Edwin Jackson would work. Pretty sure Octavio Dotel works, although not positive he played for the Tigers, but I think he did. All right, whatever. I'm just gonna go with Vina. Fernando Vina. There he is. All right, get a rarity score of 10. Vina is up there at 4%. I was right. I wasn't just thinking of his number, which wasn't his number. 4%. This is kind of an interesting look for Vina because he's wearing the MB here was the hat logo from 94 to 96, I think, and then this was the hat logo from 97 to 99. But he still got it on his shirt there. You can sort of see it. And so my top row here with the Cardinals was pretty mediocre, but I mean not media. That's me. It was all right. It was single digits, but I would think I could come up with, I see a lot of the Cardinals. I should have come up with some more rare names, but alas, I did not. Who knows if Tatis Sr. would have worked a little bit better. I thought Zeal would work better because he's not an active, he doesn't have an active major leaguer son. So, all right. Well, I am going to call it there. I'll take 47 seconds and a 10. That's pretty good. I know you all are going to beat me, or several of you will beat me in the comments, but please keep them coming. Doesn't bruise my ego. Love to see it. All right. You all have a great rest of your night. Peace.